Oh,
Yo, that was
did
sick as fuck. Let's go.
did that go through? Did you guys hear everything?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's Rob's live reaction to Evernight's little transition.
We have live
Yo, the
reactions going already.
hype as part of the direct already happened. What the fuck?
Yeah, dude, I wanted to make this like a real kind of professional production here. So here we are.
Yeah, let's go.
So did Evernight get that AV producer whatever listing that went out?
Oh, I can't believe I'm working with the uncle that works at Nintendo.
Oh man, Kristen in here on frame one. How you doing, Kristen?
Frame one, let's go.
Immediately. Oh my
Although,
goodness.
actually, quick thing about that AV producer job listing at Nintendo. Alright, as soon as I saw that go live on Twitter, I happened to read it. Not because I'm qualified or even want the job, but just out of curiosity. And I noticed the little bit in there that said film live action segments for directs, and I immediately posted that to the GVG Discord. And then, about a week later, Arlo's all like, I've got an exclusive scoop. Someone told me about this job listing. And then GVG reports on the same thing. So where's my credit?
It's all coming together.
You're right.
Oh my goodness. Oh, but with that, hello everybody who's listening right now, and everyone who may be listening to the VOD like an hour or so before the actual direct. I'm Night Tide here with Evernight Studio. I am joined by Rob RManX and Azran127, my fellow Good Vibes Gaming EP squad members.
Yo, let's go.
We're here to discuss on the last minute, because Nintendo threw this at us at the last minute, the Nintendo Direct predictions that we have for the first Direct we're having in like 530 days, I believe it was.
Yeah, a year and a half.
My God. Oh my goodness. How are you both feeling about this Direct after so long?
I'm feeling pretty good about it because okay, so not only is this our longest direct in history, right? But
Mhm.
Nintendo themselves, has nothing coming out other than new Pokemon Snap, and then to be determined Bayonetta 3 and Breath of the Wild 2. So I think we're gonna see some good stuff today. So
Absolutely. What about you, Azran? How are you feeling about this after for so long?
Well, I'm always hyped for these events. They pretty much eat away at me all day, and that's why I did things like make an entire survey and monitor the responses for hours.
it was a good survey.
But I don't know. I don't think I've been feeling the drought as much as some people might have, because I'm not the type to pay attention to whether it's a proper direct or whether Nintendo's just throwing out announcements. But I will say I still prefer this just because of the inherent hype compared to here's Paper Mario the Origami King all of a sudden on Twitter. Here's Age of
Yeah.
Calamity all of a sudden on Twitter.
I can agree with that for sure.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, and also
Or
welcome.
at least if they were gonna do the Twitter announcements, I wish they gave us some advance notice to be like, look out for this announcement happening tomorrow.
Yeah, it
Even if
kind of
it
sucks
wasn't a
to just
direct.
it kind of sucks to that two of Nintendo's biggest releases last year were just Twitter drops like 2
And
months
then you
before
go on
release.
Twitter and you
Yeah.
get spoiled before you can see the announcement yourself because it gets trending.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, and also welcome to Christian. We welcomed you. Also, debatably competent and Vash. Hello, welcome, and everyone else that's listening too. Thank you for joining us as well. We are about 4 hours away from the first Nintendo Direct in like a year and a half. So we're all here. Hello to Mr. Jedinger.
Yo, let's go.
Hello to
I'll-
Azran in chat. Hello to Rob in chat as well. Robin Armanex. Armanex in chat says, I'm here too.
let's go. So yeah, I guess we're doing predictions. Yeah, like
Yeah.
how did you want to do this?
Yeah, so what we're gonna do pretty much is we each have well, I requested we'd have about 5 or 6 predictions. Rob has about 60, but we're gonna only go through the ones that we really think are gonna, the ones that we think are gonna really hit home. Hopefully, along with some strange ones. But we're gonna go through those first, and then towards the end, we're gonna talk Smash. So I think what we're gonna do, we'll just start off. Any one of us can start off with one of our own topics, and then we'll just go in a circle. We'll just kind of discuss each point, and then be like what we think of each one's prediction, and then just go on from there. So if
Azran, feel free, take the stage, my dude.
But I have less than you guys, so I probably shouldn't go first.
Oh, but you gotta save the best for last, which is my list. So
Why not both? Why can't we save that for last and not start with me?
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I guess I can just start. I'll pull one at random.
pull out of the hat, yeah, go ahead.
I think okay, so
Hey, I'm the only hat here.
okay, so we all know Monster Hunter Rise is coming out. No big deal. Like we're probably gonna get a trailer for that, or it's gonna get mentioned. But I think we're also gonna get a trailer for Stories 2.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Monster Hunter Stories. That's something that I've always been interested in. Monster Hunter. I haven't really played the core series, but when I look at Stories, it looks like the kind of like a cozier JRPG version of it. You know?
I've heard it compared to a bit more like Pokemon, but with like more of a story element to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like Ni no Kuni, but the combat doesn't suck?
Yeah, probably something like that.
Oh man. In the first Ni no Kuni, yeah, that was the only thing that really was left to be desired. I loved the charming world and story of it, but like the actual combat was left a little bit to be desired. So I'm wondering how much that compares to a game like Monster Hunter Stories.
Well, I hear the first one is a pretty good game, even though it's now stuck on 3DS. But um, I mean, I guess I perceive it as it got a full like 50 episode anime series, both subbed and dubbed.
Oh my
So like
goodness.
clearly someone liked it, right? Like I mean, I feel like you don't just
Wow,
make
that
that.
has a more storied history than I thought. Didn't know
Yeah,
about
right.
the anime.
A storied history. Haha.
That is
I
why
got
I said
In-
it,
in-
yes.
Indeed.
Yeah, okay, I caught it. I'm just letting you know.
So
I
it
feel-
begins.
but yeah, I think Monster Hunter Stories 2 could get a trailer today. That even though I'm not a Monster Hunter fan, it was just like that's probably something we could see.
Yeah, I definitely can see that happening, especially if this is something that if we're moving a bit more away from like partner directs and they're gonna start like being one cohesive discussion and presentation. I'm sure we'll see something from Monster Hunter since they're really pushing that with the demo with their own presentation earlier last year or earlier
Yeah, to
this year.
fill 50 minutes, there's got to be a decent third-party presence, so that would include Capcom. And there's also the fact that we could find out that with Rise coming out so soon, it's supposed to be cross-compatible with Stories 2 in some way. They could elaborate on it.
Oh, that's true. They could talk about that
Mhm.
here.
Yeah, perfect opportunity for that, definitely. But yeah, we're definitely waiting for Monster Hunter here. Let's see. Any other points on that, or do you want to move on to the next one?
I'm good if you guys got something.
Okay, yeah, I can go ahead and throw one in. Probably not the most shocking one, but I do think we're gonna get the DLC for Age of Calamity.
Mm.
Cause
Yep.
cause like if previous games or anything to go by, like Fire Emblem Warriors, the first Hyrule Warriors, they all had DLC going along with it, adding more characters, more content. It just like they'd be crazy not to do it for the best selling Warriors game that's ever come out for them. But for this one, like I want to be a little more specific. Like what if for this DLC, like obviously they'll probably have more characters. Like we haven't seen someone in action like Robbie, Pura, what's that other ninja
Suga?
boy? Suga.
Suga?
Yeah, he hasn't had a role. He just kind of disappeared in the story after a while, and then yeah, but like it's kind of weird because my prediction kind of goes against this against having them on there. But what if there was like a shorter DLC campaign that actually went through like the true timeline that wasn't just like the whole no A Guardian, no like interference with that. If we just went through the actual story, like how it went, because the Age of Calamity kind of went on that line, but then halfway through, it's like halfway through the game, and then it took on its own life. But what if we went to the story where like it actually has the ending that people wanted, like, or that some wanted, like they wanted to see the true ending of how that ended up with the Guardians passing, with Link having to go into the Shrine of Resurrection and all that, like and then have the actual battle at the end where it's Zelda versus the Calamity Ganon.
Oh, that'd be hype as hell.
Like that'd be a way
I mean-
to give people like that ending while also being like just a shorter campaign. But I don't know. That's just one theory we could have for it.
Yeah, I know. That's why I really appreciated the Torna expansion for Xenoblade 2. They were not afraid to show the bad ending that actually happened. And
Oh,
it
they
was also
really
a
showed
shorter
the bad
campaign.
ending in that.
Yeah, man, that one gave you characters
Yeah,
that
even though you know what happens roughly if you play the main game, it still finds ways to dig into you. And
No,
I
yeah.
hear that some people say Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core does the same. I've never played any Final Fantasy beyond what I've played so far of 6. I only started that recently. So I don't know about that example, but there you go. There's a few games that can pull it off. So why not Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, Torna did it so well too. Like it made you like, just to talk about Torna for just a little bit. It made you like care about the whole community because that was integrated into the design of the game, and like you cared about characters that you didn't even know existed while playing base game, and then bad things happen, and then you're like, oh no. Even though you saw it coming, even though you know it's coming, there's a lot they can put in between, and that's what they could do for Age of Calamity as well for that true ending.
Hmm. For sure. I'm probably the one person on the planet who owns a Switch and hasn't played Age of Calamity. But that's only because hello phone. You don't have to go off. That's okay. Oh, we're live. It's letting me know we're live.
Oh, good to know.
But
Is your phone's name Michael by chance?
yeah, no, it is not. But I got it. Don't worry. But I didn't enjoy Breath of the Wild as much as everyone else did, so I skipped Age of Calamity because I was like, like I'm fine on Warriors, and I have the original Hyrule Warriors, which I enjoyed more,
Mhm.
because it was a smorgasbord of Zelda stuff as opposed to just one game. But if we didn't see DLC for it, I'd actually be very surprised. So that was on my list too, was Age of Calamity DLC. I specifically predicted that it's spring 2021.
Mhm.
90% of my survey participants agree that we're gonna see it today.
Which means we won't.
Oh yeah.
Because
Of
it's
course.
Nintendo.
But you know what? Let me throw this idea onto the pile for Age of Calamity DLC. We had those Divine Beast stages, and they did some things with them, but not terribly much, understandably so. But that means they have the setup for you to deal with like thousands of enemies. And we're thinking of characters that haven't been used in the game yet. It is
Mhm.
now that I say we need the 3 dragons.
Yo, that'd be
To
cool.
play on Divine Beast style stages where you control the 3 dragons
Oh my goodness,
that
that'd
you
be crazy.
encounter in Breath of the Wild.
Yo, that'd be
You're
hype.
just soaring above Hyrule as this huge thing. But now you are that thing. You have the power.
Yeah, we need to go bigger. Because yeah, the dragons weren't shown at all in Age of
There was
Calamity.
a Farash, Dinwall, and I forget the name of the Nehru one.
I don't know. I forgot.
Was
But
it just Lineru?
is it just Linear?
But that was the region.
I have no idea.
I have
Whatever the third
forgotten.
one is. The ice one.
I haven't played that game in 4 years. You're asking the wrong
Oh my
person here.
goodness. But yeah, that kind of thing, like just some kind of way to expand upon it. I would love to see what they can do, especially with there's so much hype going with the Breath of the Wild, which is now like its own trilogy with the sequel coming out eventually. But yeah.
Actually, one more thing.
Oh yeah.
One more thing while I'm at it. Because Breath of the Wild itself got DLC, and you know what came at the end? The Master Cycle.
The motorcycle.
Yo, as a
And then as a
motorcycle,
weapon
as
for
a
Link.
weapon.
Oh, if we can get motorcycle, master cycle Link as a new fight style for him, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, it'd be like
Or even some dedicated missions where the field might not be as wide, but you get to like drive Mach speed through a bunch of enemies.
yeah, that'd be tight. It'd be like when they added Epona to the original Hyrule Warriors. It's like, does it make sense that you're playing this way? No, but you don't care because it's fun as hell.
It's a Warriors game, and you have to kind of just suspend all disbelief for this sort of thing.
This one person with a tiny sword took out thousands of people with no problem.
Oh my goodness, yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it for mine right there. For Age of Calamity, because I know whether we see it or not. I mean, I have a strong feeling we will. Clearly, your survey shows that we will. But what's something that you think we're gonna see, Azran?
All right, we're going to stay on the subject of updates to existing games because what struck me about the direct announcement the most is that it said updates to games plural like Smash Ultimate. And we'll get to the Smash piece at the end of this, I know,
Mm-hmm.
but that plural leads me to believe a couple of things. One, Age of Calamity DLC is very possible because it could be one of those plural games. But also a game that we haven't heard from in a little while, and it was at the last main direct, Ring Fit Adventure.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Now, the survey results, there's about half of the Discord that disagrees with me, but I'm in the camp that thinks we're seeing a new update.
Hmm.
I do not know if it would be a free update or a paid DLC update. It depends on the size of things. Like if it's another quality of life update, maybe some new mini games and new songs for rhythm mode, which I would love to see, by the way, then yeah, they can slot that in for free and just keep the longevity going because that game is still selling very well, especially in Japan.
It's almost at. It just passed 8 million, right? So.
Yeah, it was
I
hard to
think
find for a
so.
while, but people are able to find it again. They're keeping up better with the supply, so now is another time to update the game. I mean, I myself finished the main campaign for Ring Fit a little while ago. Finally
Yeah,
beat that final boss, so I'm sure other people are also looking for new things to keep up their routine.
yeah, because like especially during the situation of the world, a lot of people were at home and they needed to have some kind of like indoor activity. So that probably definitely contributed to so many sales and being how things still are. Yeah, I've been wondering if people are waiting and anticipating new DLC for that, considering we're still kind of at home. Um, it just kind of makes sense that they would make something like that somewhere down the line, like a little more meaty than what we had with the last update.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
figure they could, if they want to do something short and free, they could add to rhythm mode. They could throw in new mini games, or they could expand your attack repertoire, right? Because there you have to do certain exercises to attack enemies. So just adding new options for your character to attack with in the main game in the form of new exercises that weren't in the game before, that would certainly open up some replay value.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Or any more quality of life improvements, cosmetic options they made, and if they wanted to go bigger and maybe the paid route, I could imagine the four masters that each focus on specific parts of your body show up a few times throughout the game, but they kind of, they're just kind of obstacles in your way. They're not. I wouldn't
Hmm.
call them too much of a central focus. So I think they could star in their own mode, something separate from adventure and rhythm, like an Armando's Super Arm Challenge campaign, and
Mm.
same for the other three, but with legs and torso and balance.
Yeah, that would definitely get me to play the game again because I have not in a hot minute. I haven't tried it as much as I probably should. So,
I
um,
look at my bought copy that's sitting there unboxed right now.
oh man, yeah, that sort of thing too. Like if there's an update, people will naturally want to like open it up, and start it up again. Maybe they'll get back into a routine in the best case scenario. So that'd be really good all around, especially with more campaigns if they do decide to add that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what else they could do? I've heard people voice that they would like this is that it would be easier to play the game if you could get it digitally because you wouldn't have to switch out the cartridge every time. So if
That
they
too.
could maybe reveal a standalone ring-con and a digital version of the game so that you can download the game but buy the ring-con
Hmm.
in a new sort of retail package.
But
That
standing up,
would.
but standing up to physically change the cartridge is part of the workout.
Oh
I
yeah.
suppose.
It's part of the experience.
Yeah. Oh, good old Nintendo. It's part of the experience. It's like I don't want to get up. Like I just want to play video game.
Yeah, let me play my game where I'm going to get up and squat by not getting up.
I don't want to do squat. That's the point.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, I'm in charge of puns here.
Trying to take over your job. All right.
He's trying to rob me.
Aha. That's me. That's my name. Hello.
That's me. All right.
So I got one for you both. This is technically 3 of them in one, but they're all like the same idea. So I'm just gonna combine them here.
Mhm.
I feel like we could see a couple ports from Bandai Namco. Those being a Dark Souls 2 port, a remaster of the Klonoa Wii game, and then Tales of Symphonia Chronicles for PS3 gets ported.
Aw. If there's any
What-
kind of chance for if there's any kind of chance for Tails to have more presence on the Switch, I'm down for it, of course.
Yeah.
Klonoa, man, I need to play more Klonoa.
Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, Klonoa, especially the Wii one, I feel like is something Bandai Namco would do because it's like, it'd be like doing, it's like when Sega did Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz, you know? It's just like,
Ugh.
you picked
Oh,
the
boy.
weirdest one to do that not everyone is a fan of, you know? So, yeah, it's like, well, okay, I guess. Because
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, it wasn't just me. I thought my end was
Oops.
freezing up.
Rob, did you go quiet? I suddenly can't hear you anymore, Rob. Maybe you need to reset the chat. Oh no, Rob is dead. Maybe you
The
need
hype
to
killed him.
maybe you need to exit and come back into the voice chat.
hello.
Oh, there you
Hello.
are.
Oh my god, we resuscitated
I was
him.
like, oh no, he got so excited for it.
I got too hype. I'm sorry. I was saying the Klonoa Wii game. It's apparently it made a lot of changes to the story that people aren't a fan of.
Hmm.
But in general, I feel like that's a very like modern company thing to do, where it's like, oh, we'll pick the one people don't like and we'll port that to the Switch.
Yeah, that was a bold move with Monkey Ball. Like, why take the one that people don't enjoy as much and give that to us and potentially like stunt the sales for it? And it's like a lose-lose situation where people don't want to buy it, so then people are gonna think, oh, they don't want more of this series. We're not gonna port it anymore.
Oh yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
part that
well, yeah. I mean, they made the game, but they're really outside the sphere of the community. They don't know what it
Exactly.
wants.
Hmm. Like,
Sphere.
oh, we just threw this together. Whatever.
I said sphere. Because balls.
But for that one, oh man, I think Symphonia probably has the biggest chance of happening. Maybe I don't know about Dark Souls. Like how much can the Switch handle as far as graphically? When we were talking about graphics with the game like Dark Souls, I wonder.
Dark Souls Cloud version now available.
Oh no.
Shadow dropping it today.
It's possible, man. I don't even know with Nintendo right now. Let's see.
Actually, I guess that raises the question of, do you think we'll see any cloud versions of games today? Because they're no stranger to it now between RE7 and Control.
I actually, as like a minor, like you mentioned, cloud versions, right?
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. I think we keep losing you, Rob. I wonder what's going on.
I'm
Unle-
surprised I'm not the one you keep losing. My internet likes to do that.
Huh. Interesting. We were okay a moment ago. I wonder what happened. Rob,
Do
I'm
do
sorry.
do 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 do. Sing the song from the airport in Animal Crossing New Horizons. No, airlines, we are waiting for you.
Oh boy, Rob. I don't know if you have to reset your Discord again. Who knows? I'm not sure what's going on. You're here for like a moment and then it like cuts out for some reason.
Oh my god, Quirion is onto something in the chat. Rob's too good.
Ninjas are getting him. They're yeah, they're definitely listening to this podcast right now and they're like, "Wait, this man knows too much."
Well, if we're waiting on him to come back, I just want to tell Vash that I really want that camera support for Snap, but I don't see it happening just because the camera's never been packaged on its own. They did break up the Labo kit into that starter set and 2 expansions, but the camera one also included the bird, I believe. No, wait, the wind pedal came with the bird, so the camera was paired with
Mhm.
the, I should know this. I love Labo. The camera.
Man, I never got Labo, so I'm not sure either.
Jeez, what was that last VR thing? Not the blaster, because that was in the starter set. The camera came with the elephant.
The elephant,
No
right?
one wants to buy the elephant because, yeah, unless they're gonna work that into Snap too.
Yeah, I mean, man, it's so weird when you think about what Pokemon what new Pokemon Snap could have been on. Like you had the 3DS where it has like the actual gyro controls, and then you have like the Wii U, which just made the most sense with the gamepad, but we never took advantage of those. We're gonna put it on the Switch.
Of course, I come back and
Welcome back.
Womp womp
I
womp.
Rob, I heard you say, of course I come back, and then that's where it cut off. I'm just like, now I need to know the end of the story. Oh no.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at this because it must not be very funny on his end.
Last streams we had together, it was just fine, but I wonder what's going on here. Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Just a moment.
Do 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 do. What else have we got in the chat? Yeah. Kristen mentioned earlier we were talking about Capcom with Monster Hunter, and they brought up the Ace Attorney possibility.
Right, the Great Ace
Well, not
Attorney.
the Ace Attorney. Well, there's that, but really any Ace Attorney on Switch other than the original trilogy would be news.
Yeah, given the unfortunate leaks of Capcom, that's more like a matter of a when, and if it's going to happen today, if they're going to announce that.
Yep.
But I'm very much excited for the Great Ace Attorney, considering we've never had that overseas before. So if they can finally bring that over, I would love to get a chance to dive into that finally, because we have like 1 through 3 on like everything basically, Switch, 3DS, and then yeah, we also have 4, 5, 6. That needs to come out as well, so we can complete the whole, at least that part of the saga.
Yeah, there's the second trilogy. There's Edgeworth Investigations, the second of which was never localized. So if they
Yeah.
want to pull a Fire Emblem 1, except on Capcom side. I'm not familiar enough to know what the DGS stands for. Is that the Great Ace Attorney?
Um. I'm trying to. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Daigyakuten Saiban.
Doing the original name, I see.
Vash will be happy to know that on there's that we're doing bingo cards in another server I'm in, and I did submit Battle Network Collection as an item for the bingo card.
Hmm.
So maybe.
For all the Mega Man fans out there.
I've only played 11, and I played it on Newcomer because I am terrible. But I was thinking, they have a bunch of Mega Man collections already. What's one more?
Yeah, just give us the entire series on the Switch. Give us the retro series, give us an X collection, give us the man, I wish I could play Legends. I never got to play Mega Man Legends when it was out, when it was the thing, because I never had the system for it. So yes, we even here in the extension of the GVG crew, we have to have the obligatory Mega mention in there.
Yeah, GVGB team. Well, that's not our official title by any means. So I was just thinking of the Steven Universe episodes where the Paradise, Lapis, and Connie form like the B team. So I was thinking of us as them, where GVG's like the Crystal Gems, and we're some of the side characters.
I'm a definite side character.
Dressing up, putting on our GVG guises.
Oops. Trying to figure out what I'm actually trying to.
Physically, Rob is okay. He is able to type in our little Discord chat. I don't know about his tech situation though.
Yeah, I'm trying to just figure that out right now. Could be a bad internet connection at the moment. Feel bad just kind of ditching his topic at the moment, but
Or too, I asked. Well, we don't want to do the topic without him if it's his, so we're just being considerate by completely ditching him.
Yeah, probably. It seems like it's an internet issue on his side. So, I mean, we got plenty of time. We're not going anywhere. I guess just slightly talking about his topic as well. Yeah, I've never. Have you played Demon Souls or Dark Souls?
No, I do not.
I swear to God, if I get cut off again, I'm so fucking mad.
Oh no.
I thought you were gonna cut yourself off in that sentence just to troll us.
I was tempted. I actually had my finger on the mute button for fun, but
For the bit, commit to the bit.
Yeah, right. But I reset my router. We should be good for now.
Okay. No
so
problem.
we were saying Dark Souls type thing, right?
Oh yeah, we're back on that. Okay, so I was just saying in general, a Bandai Namco port being in the presentation wouldn't surprise me. And I just listed off Dark Souls 2, Klonoa, and Tales of Symphonia Chronicles as most likely.
And I would love to see it. Absolutely.
I've never played one of those games.
Well, now you have the chance because they're coming to Switch, baby!
Obviously coming.
Now, if Klonoa does, I've heard good things, and it seems more up my alley. But Dark Souls, I don't think I ever see myself getting into a series like that.
Yeah, the only Souls game I really enjoy is Bloodborne, and then I played a decent amount of Sekiro, but in general Souls games are very just painful. And
it's not even the difficulty that pushes me off; it's just that I'm not the /demons type of gamer.
That's
fair. I'm sort of the same way.
I say that, but I just started Sakuna, and I am technically slashing demons, but that's got buttery smooth combat, and it's all cute and gorgeous.
Oh, so what you're saying is we need a Souls game in the Mario universe, and then you'll be.
I'd try it in that case.
Then I'll be invested.
There you go. Link's Awakening 2 is just a Soulsborne game.
Oh, wait, Vash says Devil May Cry. I haven't played that either, but come to think of it, I've played Bayonetta.
Oh,
Both
there
of
you
them.
go. That's
And
I
basically
enjoy
just a
those.
good Devil
There
May
you
Cry.
go.
So
Yeah.
there you go.
But that's like a third-person action game. It's not like the over-the-shoulder thing that Souls does, where you're slowly controlling your arm.
Asran really a gamer or?
You know, I wonder that, and then I look at all the Labo I have, and then I look at the Xenoblade 2 Special Edition, and the fact that I've done all 4 routes in Fire Emblem 3 Houses, and also,
Oh no.
Oh dear.
yeah, I'm a weird one. I'm
It's
all over
totally-
the place. You can't predict me, just like we can't predict this direct, but we're trying anyway.
No. Fair enough. Something else I briefly mentioned. One of you mentioned cloud versions, and I think Phantasy Star Online 2 could come to the West finally.
Oh yeah.
The cloud version for the Switch specifically, and I predicted a summer 2021 for that.
I know a certain Steve.
I don't know if a
Steve
certain
Cool
Steve
Mill.
would want to play it on the cloud, though. Especially since a certain Steve has a PS5.
Yeah.
Well-
It
well,
depends on its
right.
performance, I guess. Like that's I mean, getting more people to play it would be cool, but I mean, it really just depends on how they handle like having the performance show on Switch compared to a system that's much more graphically capable.
Yeah, I think that's why it's a cloud version though, is because it's easier because it's an online game anyway, so you have to be connected no matter what. So I think the idea was like, hey, we only have to worry about streaming it in a clean image as opposed to worrying about can the thing even run it, you know? Like you could just run it on a medium setting PC and then just stream the image to your Switch, you know?
Hmm. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah,
It's
hopefully.
not ideal, but it's something, you know.
Yeah, I hope that we see something like that. Like because Switch just has so many games on it. Like we have such a wide range of everything on it. Like I wouldn't be surprised if we see something like that. Because we're like apparently, presumably halfway through its life cycle, and we still are missing like certain titles that we feel like should be on there, or ones that have the potential to be really a big hit on the Switch. So I'm hoping that we can see things like that appear in due time. But yeah,
For sure.
for that one, let's see. I actually lost track. Was it my turn to do a news thing next? A
Yeah.
prediction next? Let's see. So I'm wondering. I mean, I know at least one of us here is pretty big on Fire Emblem, right?
Well,
I mean, I play
okay,
'em.
so I said I played all 4 routes, and I did. And that does include the DLC that I played during the second route that I played. But that was my second Fire Emblem game.
I see.
My first was Echoes. I have only played those 2.
Yeah, and going off of that, I do think that with the Echoes line, I predict that we're gonna see a new Echoes soon. Like before we see another like mainline Fire Emblem, or before even like some kind of DLC for if they are gonna do more DLC for Three Houses, I think we'll see another Echoes game that revitalizes one of the old series games. Which I guess the next they would either do, I think, the fourth game, which is Genealogy of the Holy War, which would definitely benefit from having that kind of upgrade, since that was Super Nintendo, and many people rave about Genealogy of the Holy War. I have not played that one yet. I want to play that this year at least, by like at least to be familiar with it, because I always hear so much about it. But if they don't do Genealogy, I think they can also do Roy's game, because the Binding Blade, it's an okay game. Like there's a lot that can be improved upon it. They can do so much more with his story, and Roy being still locked to being only playable in Smash Brothers. I think he at least deserves that shot as much. And if not, they could do like a Binding Blade, Blazing Blade kind of duology if we're going really like ambitious for this one. But I think we'll see either like Fire Emblem 4 or 6 in that manner. And because the Echoes brand back, because that's what it's there for.
Exactly. I had the same thing predicted. I said I literally just put Fire Emblem Echoes Genealogy of the Holy War, but I put down spring 2021 because Echoes. I imagine not that Echoes isn't important as a brand or couldn't be important as a brand, but like I feel like they would have the B team work on that instead of the main Fire Emblem team that like the three houses like full blown production kind of thing, you know? Like it'd be like, hey, we're gonna make just a quick, easy like just toss it out there and it done in a year and a half or whatever, you know? Like using
Mhm.
assets from three houses kind of thing. You know, we're just gonna make Fire Emblem 4 using that, basically.
I hope that game doesn't feature a lot of fruit then.
It'll feature a lot of blocky polygons with fruit texture on top of them. That's what it'll feature.
Oh my goodness. Oh man, I kind of wish that genealogy's Echo's genealogy happened like on the 3DS because the production of that game is so well done. Like there's such fantastic voice acting in Fire Emblem Shadows of Valentia, and like they continue that with Three Houses. So I can see them kind of like I guess putting it somewhere in the middle where it's definitely like it's not gonna have like a hub like Eric Mock. It's gonna be like more the traditional per chapter basis that goes on. So I would love it
Right.
if they did something like in between what they did for those two games production, because but yeah.
Yeah, I think if they bring back Genealogy of the Holy War or any classic Fire Emblem game, I feel like they would remain relatively faithful to like not necessarily the gameplay that it had, but just the structure of it. Like they like you said, they wouldn't add like a monastery to Genealogy of the Holy War, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, all of a sudden you're an Avatar character who's a teacher. It's like they're not going to do that for a remake of a game unless they want to just call it Three Houses 2, Genealogy of the Holy War.
3 Houses 2.
4 houses. Or no, wait. 4 already exists. 5 houses.
5 houses,
Yeah.
because it spans across 2 generations of people. So
Fire.
Exactly.
Wait,
That's where they
okay.
come
3
from.
Houses 2. Fire Emblem 3 duplexes.
There you go. 3 condominiums.
You know, the internet would go straight onto the internet would immediately take that box art for 3 condominiums, and they would just Photoshop out a few letters at the end, and they'd have their way.
Mhm.
Yo, I like this suggestion. Corey in the houses. Let's go. Let's
Oh,
go.
no. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean,
So,
I've held back on playing Genealogy just because I was hopeful ever since Shadows of Valentia that we can get a remake in that style just to have a really full experience. And there's so many characters now that have an official English voice with and Japanese voice with Fire Emblem Heroes, so they can bring those people back in and really just flesh out the world with a remake. So that's something I've just been hoping for. Whether or not it happens, who knows? They might announce something related
Right.
to how we saw in the Fire Emblem Heroes the discussion with the voice actors. There was a one scene with Edelgard and Claude in new clothing, but in a familiar scene. So they might announce something related to that, whatever that might be. I don't
Costume
know.
DLC, baby. Let's
Yep.
go.
The
they
only
already had that.
the only
More
update-
costume DLC, baby. Let's go.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's just the costumes. There's nothing else added. It's just that you can change how they look because everyone loves to dress up their favorite characters. And
Hell
that'll
yeah.
be it.
Alright,
And
I'm going to be bold and lock in that I'm disagreeing with this. We're not seeing Fire Emblem today. Maybe later this year, but not today. And the
Okay.
reason I think that is because they've still got Fire Emblem 1 localized on the eShop. That was a pretty recent announcement. And that's
Good
going
point.
away in March.
Yeah.
Sure is.
So because of that release, it feels a little too soon for me. Not that
Okay.
I'd object to it.
That's fair.
Mhm.
No, that's a good point though, because Nintendo is very adverse to having things that are too similar to each other, or they perceive as too similar to each other. So, you
We
know,
say that, but they also released New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe and Mario Maker 2 in the same year.
yeah, but New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe sucks. So
It sold more than Mario Maker, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but it sucks. So because they were expecting Mario Maker 2 to be way bigger than it was, and
Yeah,
unfortunately,
they wanted to
that
hit.
had. Oh, sorry, real quick.
Oh.
Mario Maker 2 was the sole exception to the Switch effect, where it didn't do gangbusters and it didn't, take over the world for 400 days straight. Like it was just like it came out, everyone's like, "This is neat," and then they moved on with their lives, and it's like, "Oh well, okay, I guess that's it then."
Now, that said, if we did see a Fire Emblem presence at this direct, I would either say that Roy is more likely because it would be a follow-up to Marth's game in the 30th anniversary year. They were like, the trailer for Smash Melee, who's Marth and Roy? You haven't heard of them? And then Marth's game comes out. So to follow that up with Roy's makes more sense to me before doing genealogy.
Oh, you're saying like a localized version of that game.
At least,
Mhm.
or an Echoes remake.
Either one would make sense.
But
I'm
one other
wondering.
possibility.
I'm wondering if they, real quick, if they localized Fire Emblem 6, would they just release it like they did with Shadow Dragon, or
Hmm.
because
Yeah,
that's a Game Boy Advance game?
yeah, it depends if they want to like just make it sort of like premium title, because that game could have been out on NSO. It's an NES game that could have been out on the Nintendo Switch Online for the NES, but they wanted to. The fact that
Wasn't
they
it out on
translated it,
NSO in Japan?
Yep.
Because it didn't need to be translated?
Hmm.
yeah, pretty much. We had to pay for like translation essentially, and then the whole collector's edition that has all
Doesn't even
the,
include the actual game.
yeah. Just it has the acrylic standee of the NES cartridge, but not the actual game.
Why couldn't you just make it a real cartridge, you morons? You have
Oh,
2 GB cartridges for stuff like this. It's cheap to make.
oh man,
There is
yeah.
one other Fire Emblem possibility that crosses my mind, though, if we get anything. I still think we won't, but I'm gonna put this out there as well. Fire Emblem Heroes for Switch.
Ooh,
Mm.
interesting one. I could see
Again,
that,
30th
honestly.
anniversary year, so it could end up getting some more acknowledgement beyond Shadow Dragon. There's other mobile games on the Switch, and Fire Emblem Heroes was a big focus in that interview session they did. With like, what costumes do you like to see these characters in?
And everyone said swimsuits. That's it.
I have no idea how that would work on Switch, because like you
In the same way any other mobile game works on Switch. You got your Pokemon Quest, your Pokemon Cafe mix.
so you'd be
Because
able
There's
to
others,
you'd
but
be
I'm
able to
blanking.
you'd be
it's
able to
Fire
play.
Emblem, so it's not like you couldn't just move a cursor or something.
You'd have to like grab the Switch and play with it specifically in its vertical mode and in its portrait mode.
Oh god, that I just realized how ugly that would be on like a TV, just having a single line down the center to
Yeah.
that's your game.
The main thing is like they'd have to overhaul the UI for everything because everything is so vertically oriented.
Mhm.
Some other games are easier to translate, like some that are naturally like horizontally landscape made would be easy to translate, but I don't know. That's it depends. I guess it could happen, but I don't know if we can have a if Heroes would be on the Switch.
Mr. Jettinger with the Dragon Quest 1 to 3 jab.
Oof. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, those real talk, those are ugly ass ports though.
Yeah,
Dragon Quest
certain
1 through 3, fucking yikes. Get
yeah,
me
there's
out of there.
some certain Square Enix ports that just do not look pretty.
Can't wait till FF5 and 6 come to Switch and it's just the
It's the
shitty mobile ports.
No. Stop, they'll hear you. They'll cut you
Oh.
off again.
Oh no, Square's gonna shut down my internet again. They heard me bad talk FF7 remake, and now they're out to get me.
Oh my goodness. Okay. But for yeah, maybe we'll see Fire Emblem, maybe not, but for let's see. What's another one that you had lined up as a prediction, Azran?
This one was a hot topic on the survey. It was the biggest split among everyone in the Discord. But I think it's going to happen. I'm on the half that says yes. New Mario Party happening today. Let's see it. I don't know if they'll call it Super Mario Party 2 or if it'll be something completely different, but it used to be closer to an annual franchise, and the fact that we haven't seen more with sales continuing to be good for the first game is, interesting.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think we could definitely see some sort of Mario spin-off of some kind, whether it's party, golf, who knows. I honestly I don't care which one it is. Mario spin-offs are, even if the games aren't like great, they're usually fun, Like even Super Mario Party had its upsides, and like you said, because sales are really good for that game, and yet we've heard nothing about it afterwards is like kind of shocking. So I think it's time we could see it again.
I'm just shocked that there was no DLC for Super Mario Party when they could have added boards or an actual workable online play. It's baffling.
It's crazy to me that the only Mario game on the Switch with DLC made by Nintendo is Captain fucking Toad.
But then we had the Balloon Luigi in Odyssey.
That was
That was
also
a free
just an update.
Oh, I guess that was just an update then.
Yeah,
So
I mean like a paid DLC. You go into the eShop, you PayPal them $20, and you're like, okay, let me enjoy this for 5 hours, and then be upset that I'm never gonna see a sequel for the next 6 years.
well, Captain Toad set a precedence, and then everyone else needs to get on Captain Toad's level.
Right, Captain Toad's
I mean,
just a step
Captain
above
Toad
the
got
rest.
DLC despite being a port,
Yeah, exactly.
and the original version never got that DLC.
Wow, wow.
Man, I'm so proud of Captain Toad. He's come so far since you found him in Mario Galaxy. Like he's had his spin-offs. He's had his little mini games in Super Mario
He
3D
should
World.
be in the new Mario Party they're announcing today.
Oh, there you go. Yo, you know what would be great? Make Mario Party like a Mario spin-off celebration. So you get your Captain Toads, you get your Paper Mario characters, you get your Mario Kart characters like Pink Gold Peach in there, just everyone's favorites. You put them all together.
Can you imagine that they do boards based on the Mario spin-off? So there's like a Mario Kart board, there's a Mario golf
Like Fortune
board.
Street.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like what Fortune Street did, like with the
Yeah.
Yoshi's Island stage, the
There was
Mario
a
Galaxy
Galaxy
stage,
board. There was a other boards.
Bowser's Castle. Yeah.
And that had a ton of Mario RPG remixes too.
Yes.
And
Oh, man.
and they were never heard from again.
Yeah, mini prediction. Just bring Fortune Street back, please. I want to play that with friends again.
What's upsetting is like I think Nintendo obviously published the one for the Wii, and that's the only Fortune Street we've ever gotten. I wonder if Nintendo like sort of screwed Square into having co-ownership of the IP in the West, because we've had other Fortune Street games have come out after that, but they're all Japanese exclusive, including the one that's Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest crossing over.
Yeah, that looks so cool.
Yeah, it looked really cool, and there was a ton of like cool remixes in the trailers and stuff, and I'm like, yep, we're never gonna see this. So I wonder if Nintendo is just like, we got our one game on the Wii, and we're not gonna do anything with it ever again.
Oh.
And Square and Nintendo used to do so much more, because there was also Final Fantasy representation in Mario Sports Mix on the Wii.
Oh, that's true, and in Hoops 3-on-3, like those both were like so awesome for the Final Fantasy stuff they included.
And now Sephiroth's in Smash.
Yeah.
So the bond may be reuniting.
So what you're saying is Sephiroth is going to be in the next Mario Party.
Or Fortune Street. Or Mario Sports game. Actually, yeah, Sephiroth in Mario Golf for the Switch, using his Masamune to hit
Yo,
the ball.
he stands like 20 feet away from the ball to swing. It's great.
Oh my, Kristen saying White Mage, my main girl. Oh my god, the White Mage design is so nice in Hoops 3-on-3. She looks like another like princess within the Mario universe. It's so great.
White Mage was whew, she whoever designed White Mage in the Mario spinoffs, top tier character design, let me tell you.
Yeah.
That's I love her in those
Same
games.
same artist, I believe, that did art for The World Ends With You.
Yo, let's go!
So
They got a
man,
good artist.
I do have that. If they wanted to go big with back to Mario Party for a sec, if they wanted to do something more outrageous with a new Mario Party, they could make it a crossover between Mario and Animal Crossing.
Yo.
Bring back the Amiibo Festival idea, but
Yeah.
done
but make
better,
it playable.
Make it
but
good.
done better, because I mean, Amiibo cards are back in fashion. They were reselling those for New Horizons so people could get the villager. So a bunch of people got the Amiibo now.
Mm.
All they had to do was make Amiibo Festival function like a Mario Party, and that would have been such a good sell. But
Ooh.
It would be a much easier sell now that we have New Horizons.
You know
Yeah.
what?
We're not exactly waiting for the next mainline Animal Crossing.
You sort of like this could lead into one of my predictions. Funny enough, I predict that Animal Crossing is going to get a paid DLC, and what if they added like an entire like Amiibo Festival type mode to the game as like a mini game you can play with friends and stuff?
I had considered that too. Like, you go to the airport and instead of picking Harv's Island, you pick maybe Digby finally comes back and he's the one running the board game.
There you go. He could be
Yeah.
like a little show host, get a top hat, and then like a little.
Whatever happened to him? He's Isabel's brother and she's like the main mascot.
He's chilling.
Like, his
hanging
original
out.
purpose doesn't make sense on the Switch, but you could find a new purpose.
Yeah,
Other characters have.
they could easily repurpose him for whatever they wanted, but like you both mentioned, Animal Crossing and the Amiibo have like done gangbusters this last year. So,
Yeah.
capitalizing on that, like, hey, $10 to $20 DLC, like, give us your money, please.
It's possible. I mean, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to consider where Nintendo stands on like doing DLC for games where like games that are meant for everybody versus games that are for like the core people, like the core gamers, quote unquote. So I mean, I could see a free update being something like that. I mean, they've done it before with with New Leaf. They added like the
The
update
Welcome
for the
Amiibo
Amiibo.
update.
Yeah, and they had that little inkling of Puzzle League in there too, but it
Yo,
was
And,
I forgot
and
about
the
that.
Deserted Island mode from Amiibo Festival was in there too.
yeah.
Which was the best part of
best
Amiibo
part.
Festival.
They literally just transplanted that right into New Leaf. That was hilarious.
Actually, that would make more sense in New Horizons because we're already on an island.
But now
Yeah.
you have
And we
to
fly off
survive.
to other islands. So
You
we just
must
fly
live.
off to a deserted one. It makes more sense within the diegesis of the game.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. But yeah, with all that being said, let's see. Should we move on to another one of your topics, Rob?
Sure. Okay, so this is another 2-for-1. Not only do I think Metroid and Kirby are getting new games, I'm gonna predict their names right now. So,
Ooh.
So, new Metroid game. It's brand new. It's a 2D game by Mercury Steam, Metroid Exile, and it comes out in the summer. That's my prediction. And
is this continuing the
this is
timeline?
Metroid 5.
Oh,
This
Wait,
is
wait.
Metroid
Yeah,
5.
hold on, let me try
baby.
to understand that name because we're talking vocally here, so I'm not seeing it spelled out. But would that be one that takes place on a far off island and it's titled X-ISLE, as in reference to the X parasite?
No, Exile as in like removed from.
But Samus has always been removed from.
But now she's super removed from.
I don't know if Rob's played Fusion to understand the X
No,
parasite.
I know Fusion. That's the
okay.
one with.
I haven't played Fusion either. I just know the X parasite is a spirit in Smash.
I see.
Yeah. And then we're getting a new Kirby game, and the big. All right, so the game's title is Kirby Dimension Bounce, and the point of it is it's a 3D Kirby game, but you swap 2D to 3D just like in Super Paper Mario, except it's not as clunky and weird.
So
So
are you able to choose at what point you're able to flip back
yes,
and forth? Oh, okay.
Is
yeah.
it called Dimension Bounce because of Kirby's recurring place another dimension, which is where the Star Allies update takes place, but also the Return to Dreamland segments with the energy spheres?
I was referencing the fact that you're going between 2D and 3D, and Kirby looks like a bouncy
Right, but then it
character.
could be
It's
a
bouncy
two
ball.
for reference. It can reference that and Kirby's another dimension.
Sure, reference whatever
It
you
would work
want.
on 2 levels.
Yeah.
2Ds because it's 2D and 3. All right. We're hanging out. We're hanging
No,
out.
I
We're
get-
doing good. I tried. I'm sorry.
I know
All
what you
right.
mean.
Don't worry, Rob. I won't dimension it.
Thank you.
Oh,
Uh,
boy.
but yeah, so I'm predicting both of those in the summertime as like we're gonna get a Kirby and a Metroid game. Metroid, I could see if we do get a new Metroid, it would be like October maybe, like
Mhm.
For
September,
Halloween,
like late September.
spooky time.
Yeah, exactly.
Creepy
Fits
time.
in really well in that month, even if it's not specifically a horror franchise. Like those creatures are fucked up looking. That fits perfectly in Halloween time.
Yeah, I mean, Mercury Steam. I know. Do we even know what they've been working? Have they worked on anything since Samus Returns? Because I'm really.
They've been coy. They said they are working on stuff, but they can't. They're not
Mhm.
going to talk about it. So
Until
if
today.
it is Metroid, that'll just show up when Nintendo wants it. So
Yeah, I hope so because they did really great with Samus Returns, and I hope we get that kind of something like that back for the Switch because the Switch doesn't have anything for Metroid still. So
mhm.
this-
What do you
this-
mean? You have Metroid 1 and Super Metroid on the Nintendo Switch Online service.
Oh, of course.
That's
How
all
could
the
I have
Metroid you could
forgotten?
ever want.
How could I have forgotten?
I don't think they would sooner bridge the gap between those two games by porting Samus Returns.
It's possible.
They could.
I-
Yeah.
Either way, I see we're getting one. I say we're getting one thing for Metroid this year, whether it's a new game, a port, a remaster, whatever it is. People talk about the Prime trilogy. I'd be down for that. Whatever they want to release, I do
Yes.
think Metroid's getting something new this year.
I really hope so because Metroid deserves it, and people just ask for it all the time. I just want to see something for it again, like for the Switch, like something that's new, dedicated, that's made specifically for the Switch, and not just a port of a really old title like Super Metroid, which is still a fantastic game, but still, I mean, there are newer things that we would love to see on the Switch for Metroid and Samus, and then I already one of my predictions was for Kirby to have a new game or maybe some kind of enhanced port as well, but I would really love it if we had if they could just give us like Kirby Air Ride Deluxe on the Switch.
Yo, let's go! Give me that.
I
Best
wanna-
Kirby game.
I want to see that.
I
so
love
bad.
that game, but I do not see that happening ever.
Yeah,
I just want to see
same.
that way. I just want to do like some kind of like city trial with friends online. That's really the whole point of the purpose of this prediction.
I just want this one mode for this one thing. I don't even need the rest of the game.
I
Don't
just-
even give me the rest of the game. Just give me the carts, give me
Yeah,
the curb, and
dude,
give me the online.
dude, that's it. We're gonna have just Kirby City Trial is gonna be its own little like tiny little mini game that's gonna be released by HAL, and it's just gonna be the Air Ride portion of the City Trial portion of Air Ride for the Switch. It's gonna be a little bit like well no wait the that Kirby Fighter one was paid for, so it's not gonna be a free game.
If it's free, it's gonna go away in 6 months.
Oh no. Oh
Yeah,
no.
because it'll be a trial.
Oh, there you go.
The
There
trial
you go.
period will have ended.
You can no longer play this.
I know it's a
software.
city situation, but what you gonna do?
Oh, yeah.
There we
that. But yeah, if they did something like that, just even if it was its own standalone mode released on the Switch, that'd be really cool too. But it probably won't happen. I do expect to see Kirby in some capacity though.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was pretty much that was pretty much mine as well. So, let's see here. Is there anything that you'd like to add, Azran?
About Metroid and Kirby.
Yeah, before we go on to your next topic.
I think a 2D Metroid is more likely than a 3D Metroid, because if they're gonna port the Prime trilogy, as rumored, they're gonna want it closer to 4, and I don't think 4 is ready to be shown in any capacity yet.
Mm-hmm.
So 2D,
exists.
yeah, maybe decent chance of Rob's Exile idea. And Kirby,
There's a chance that my exile could happen.
Kirby's a weird one, because there's generally always something every year with Kirby, whether it's some spin-off like Kirby Clash or Kirby Fighters, or if it's a new game like Star Allies. There's too many possibilities with Kirby to narrow it down. You want to port Rainbow Curse? You want to make a new spin-off? Bring back Kirby Pinball, or Kirby's Avalanche thing,
Mm-hmm.
or but he just does so many things.
He does everything. It's crazy.
Yo, what if? Okay, this isn't in my predictions, but I just thought of it. So Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 just got 2 updates recently with new characters and stuff. What if Kirby gets added to the Switch version?
Then it can
As
be
like-
Then it would be Puyo Puyo.
Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be Kirby's Avalanche, like Puyo Puyo, like 2. Let's go. Yo. Now I
man.
want that. I'll buy
Yeah.
it if Kirby shows up. I don't even like Kirby that much, but I'd be hyped because now you got Kirby and Sonic and Arl in one game together. That's not Smash.
There's so many things we could ask for, and with new Snap finally happening after so long, you really don't know anymore. They might actually listen to us for once, and it could be an Avalanche thing, or it could be a new Dream Course, or it could be a new Air Ride.
Ooh.
Kirby can just do anything, so I'm not even gonna try to predict. I'm just gonna say, yeah, he'll probably be there
He'll
in
be
some
there.
capacity.
New Kirby Air Ride.
Oh my god. I'll take what I can get. You know, if it has to have new in the title, fine. If I can play more Kirby or Ride, I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So yeah, what was your next prediction, Azran?
Okay, well, it all starts with this little story, right? And
Oh
I
no.
went down to the river one day,
Oh,
and I looked inside, and I saw all the fish swimming around without a care in the world. They didn't know who I was. They just kept swimming, and some of them tried to get up the waterfall, and others fell and flopped to their death. No one could possibly imagine what they would find after they fell through the river to the depths of... I'm trying to do a Monokuma voice because I think Danganronpa 1-2 Reload is coming to Switch.
I had no idea what the fuck you were going for. I was
I
so
was trying to do a
lost.
Monokuma theater.
I know. Now I know that you said it, but the entire time I'm like, what is this boy up to?
I was trying to think, what random non sequitur would Monokuma say to transition into saying that 1 and 2 are coming to Switch after being PS4 exclusive for 4 years?
I could see that, sure.
Yeah.
So Dangle Rample or whatever. Like, yeah, I could see that. I've never been able to say the name of it. I know it's Danganronpa, right? That's how it's pronounced.
Danganronpa.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
less. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I could see those coming to Switch. Those are like pretty big, right? Like those are they're like what, Ace Attorney, but it's like way darker and more anime. Is that right?
I call it Anime Saturni.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that happening for sure.
Yeah, that's been especially. I feel like it's been being talked more about in the last year or so. With,
Yeah, V3 just came out
with
at
V3.
the end of 2019. And I just finished playing that game on Monday. I've been straight through the end of Chapter 4 all the way to the end of the game in one sitting.
Oof.
It gripped me. And so Nintendo is clearly waiting. They knew that I was about to finish the series up to this point. So they were waiting for me to finish the whole thing on PC before they brought a single one to Switch.
They
They
would do
just
that.
know. So that's why it's going to show up today. to spite me.
Just to spite Azran.
Just to spite you. So they announce it, and at the end they just say, "Fuck you, Azran."
It's just like there for like one frame in the corner. It just says that in small text.
Oh, even better.
But Monokuma has to take over for the narrator during
Ah,
the announcement.
Is that a leak?
Oh.
Are you part of this Nintendo Direct and you just didn't tell us? Oh no.
Oh dear.
That was closer to his voice, right? I can do the laugh.
Yeah. Keep working. You're doing great. I'm proud of you, Azran. Keep it up.
You're
We
trying
take-
so hard to be nice.
We take all kinds here. It's all good.
Yeah, we're chilling. Dampy ramping is definitely gonna happen.
Doggone Ron Paul.
Doggone.
Dan
That's
gonna run.
a meme that in the community.
Hell yeah.
It's an
Let's
established
go.
thing.
Oh my god. Yeah, we could go on making fun of Danganronpa all day long, but
But they're on mobile and they have controller support, so it'd work in either setting on Switch. So I think it's time.
Hell yeah.
It was PS4 exclusive, but Sony's got the PS5 now, so Spike Chunsoft can just push it to Switch.
Hell yeah.
I'd be so down for it for playing it some more. Yeah. Ooh. Let's see here. Oh man, so we've been going for like about an hour just on discussions here. So let's do like a couple more of these like general direct discussions, and then we can talk about Smash just to wrap things up.
Sure.
So let's
How many
see.
more do you want to do? I got plenty to spare. So
Let's just do like one each for the rest of us, and then after that we'll talk about Smash because we don't want to take up too much time for everyone here.
all right. Okay, very small one. A game featuring a dog will be featured, and the dog will be pet in the trailer. That is a small one. It is going to happen.
Isn't that
And
just
then-
Monster Hunter?
Hey,
It it
a
counts.
dog is going to be pet. That is my prediction. That is the prediction. If they don't pet the dog, it doesn't count. The dog may as well have not been there. Okay, so the real prediction. It's kind of a safe one, but No More Heroes 3, I think we're gonna get a trailer and a release month. I said June in my
Mhm.
prediction. Because, it got delayed because of COVID, but, I feel like things are slowly coming back together for the game industry. And I feel like No More Heroes 3, in like a June time frame when they could do, I'm not saying E3 specifically, but like a big event in that month, they could easily do like a it's available now like kind of thing. So they announce the release date or the release month ahead of time, give us a new trailer, maybe a demo at some point, but then in June it's like go get it, So
Yeah, Sudafit 51's been a little more gung ho about like being very supportive of getting No More Heroes out there with 1 and 2 being ported to the Switch, with the costume in Smash Brothers, and then we have 3 coming up soon. And then the what was the other title that came out that was like not really No More Heroes, but it was like a
Travis Strikes
some-
Again, No More Heroes.
Yeah, so that one's also been out too. So with these games coming out, it just feels like it's we always say things about everything, but I feel like it's time for No More Heroes 3 to just at least have a release date for us here. Let us know when it's coming. I want to dive back into this crazy world of nonsense and just see how the story continues.
yeah, definitely. I've been slowly, and I mean that very slowly, chipping away at No More Heroes 1 and 2 because I played them when they were new. So it's been a hot minute. I don't remember like anything from the second game, but they put them on Switch and I bought them immediately. Like I kid you not, when they announced it, I was just sitting on my like computer desk mashing the refresh button on the eShop over and over again. Like I was like, give me these games, I need them now. Like
Oh yeah, those are
so, but yeah, No More Heroes 3 is like a big title, especially for Suda. Like this is, I don't remember the last time he worked on a game like as big, like as it as big as No More Heroes 3 is looking to be for him and his studio. So I'm expecting it, like, they're going to try their best to market it and, sell really well,
Yeah, that's so it's so nice to see him like really like take in the popularity of No More Heroes 3 for this, and I just want to see it do well. I really want to see it do well.
Oh, Azran, you there? Everything okay? We're chilling?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Didn't
No
know.
one said anything to me, so I didn't
No,
respond.
oh, you could chip in whenever.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say about No More Heroes. It's another franchise I haven't touched, but yeah, certainly could be shown.
Yeah, for sure. But it's yeah, I just feel like it's a safe one since they said first half, and that feels like a first half game to me. Because if that comes out in like November, it's gonna get slaughtered by Call of Duty, Battlefield, all these big games that are coming out. Like it just wouldn't stand a chance. It'd be more like no more games.
How badly am I allowed to swear out Vash?
What? so if Azran a gamer,
How severe can I curse him out?
I mean, go for it. You could pick fights. Oh well, it's not my stream. I guess it's everybody's,
Just
so.
decide for me.
Yeah,
Pick
right.
fights on this guy's stream.
If it was my stream, go at it. Fight to the death. Let's go.
Fight. The good influence over here.
Except I'm terrible at fighting games.
Settle it in Smash. Da da da. There
And
we
then
go.
Vash would
Oh.
win. Pretty much immediately.
Look at him down there. I see you, smug ass. Fuck it.
Oh man. Okay. So yeah, No More Heroes. I definitely want to see that sometime soon. Hopefully today. Geez, I just want to see that game come back again in full force. But if that's all on that topic, because I know Azran hasn't played the game, is there one more? Is there any other topics predictions you'd like to bring up for us, Azran?
So imagine this. I not only have a new unannounced game, but also its release date.
Ooh.
We have not seen Little Mac in quite some time, and I know what you're thinking. This is not John's idea of Punch-Out in space, as cool as that is. This is something else. Something equally as immersive and unexpected. Little Mac hasn't been seen in a long time because, boxing is a tough profession, physically. Very demanding. Yeah, he's just a young guy. He's been through so much against Tyson and Mr. Dream and the other ones I don't care about. Even Donkey Kong. And when he faced that gorilla, his life was changed.
Oh no.
So he needed to retire from the ring. At least on a temporary basis. He needed to find himself. But in order to do that, he had to fit in with society. This is introducing Punch In. featuring
Punch-
Mr. Dream.
Punch in.
Little Mac gets a 9-to-5 job. And the game comes out September 5th.
Oh. Amazing.
Punch in.
But the game doesn't end until you punch out.
Oh no.
I can't even.
This is amazing. I am 100% in on changing the Punch-Out franchise into a job simulator. Let's go.
Can we just give Little Mac a suit and tie blazer outfit for Smash? He can keep the boxing gloves.
Every move he does is just him like looking at paperwork. Like, and not even like Phoenix Wright style. Like, it's literally just him like yep.
I think I get depressed playing this game. Just seeing Little Mac just kind of having the 9-to-5 job.
It would be a time management sim where you have to control Little Mac's inner tendencies to get back into the ring. He wants to punch things in the office, but that would be uncalled for. He can't lose his job. He's got that 401k to protect.
Doc Lewis calls him. He's like, "It's not worth it, Mac baby."
Actually, yes, you are Doc Lewis, and that is how you're managing him.
Oh, that's the whole game. Is
Oh my
that
God.
you just keep Mac under control so he doesn't lose his shit at his 9-to-5 job.
Yes.
You don't even play
You're
as
like-
Mac. You play as an unseen Doc Lewis in a God simulator. God.
You're just basically his therapist.
Oh
my
no.
God.
Oh
Best
man.
prediction ever.
The only prediction that matters.
I don't know if I can possibly contribute anything to this that'll make it any better. So,
It's already the perfect game.
no.
Wait, the real question is who's making it? Because I feel like.
Next Level Games. That's their new project after they were brought out.
Oh!
How else are they going to animate the anguish on Mac's face so believably?
You can really tell when Mac feels dead inside.
Just fuck that. What is happening
more.
there?
No more little Mac. He has to be a big man now.
He has to grow up.
Now it's just Michael. No Mac. Just Michael.
Oh my God.
Alright,
Well,
yeah, I don't know if any of us could top that. I have some joke predictions, but nothing
I mean, that
was
was my joke.
yeah, I don't have any joke
That
prediction
wasn't a-
that could fucking top Punch In.
You don't actually believe it's going to happen, Rob?
No, surprisingly not. Surprisingly not.
Okay, if you have like a joke prediction, we can go on with that, and then we'll talk about Smash because I feel like that's the one thing we're more
Yeah,
or
I
less
was out
trying
of
to talk
real
about.
predictions, so I just threw that in there without warning.
So I had like a small category called "Not Happening," and
I'm already invested.
yeah. So I had Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle 2 that is not happening, and not only is that not happening, I've heard some rumblings of what is happening, and a Rabbids strategy game is happening, but in a universe that's far, far away from the Mushroom Kingdom. So it's not going to play out. Then I mentioned something that might happen. Honestly, we're going to get the Disney 2013 classic, The Lone Ranger, ported to Switch. That's going to happen. They're just going to port the actual movie, and it's a selectable thing on the Switch. It's not Disney Plus. It's just The Lone Ranger as a single app that you can download for $20. It'll be great. And then we're going to get a Lupin the Third game made by the Yakuza developers, and it's going to be exclusive to the Switch. It's not
Hold
happening.
on, you don't think that's happening?
Yep, definitely not. Wario Land is never going to come back ever. Other than ports, it's never coming back. Sorry. And then no Earthbound. Nothing Earthbound related will show up. So that was just my list of not happening. It's not real. Obviously, the Lone Ranger might happen. It's a pretty strong possibility, but Disney's a bit finicky at times, and I know that's one of their classics, so they might be a little hesitant to just throw it out on the Switch and make a ton of money.
I've been waiting for that, so I hope you're wrong. That is going to happen. So,
but yeah. So yeah, that's my not happening list. If you got anything, Night Tide, feel free to take over because
I'm a little
my
sad.
my best joke was making fun of a shitty movie from 2013.
No, I honestly don't think I have anything that's like as glorious as these two predictions. So I should have put more thought into it on my own stream. So who can say what's gonna happen? Whether any of these happen or not, I'm very much looking forward to the direct. Just this little Christmas Eve that we have right now, waiting to anticipate what's gonna happen. It's just nice to feel that again.
Mm-hmm.
But this has been everything that hasn't been Smash Brothers. And as everyone knows, we have Smash announced officially that there's going to be news on it, right in Nintendo's tweet. So we're all waiting to see what's going to happen. And I'm wondering what you guys think we'll see out of Smash Brothers for this Nintendo Direct today.
Whew. I mean, okay, so just my bullet points. There's not going to be a new mode. We are getting a character, and that character is going to be somewhat relevant to modern gaming in some way.
Mhm.
So,
Real bold, Rob.
yeah, yep, exactly. So, do we
It's gonna
jump
be.
into like character predictions? And
Yeah, yeah, because I have like a character that I want to see and a character that we probably will realistically more than likely see. But if anyone wants to jump in with what character they want to see or otherwise, feel free to.
okay, so I got Persona and Banjo, which are my two childhood favorites. Granted, it's Persona 5 and not 4, but I'll take it.
Well, at least you
But-
can play on the Persona 4 stage with the music.
Exactly, and I never lose when that music's playing. I make it a fact to win every time.
You
Characters I
make history.
yeah, exactly. Characters I want to see. Either one would be great. Phoenix Wright or Doomslayer, and either of those two would be my like, holy shit, they're in Smash moments. So
I'm fully in for Phoenix Wright to happen.
hell yeah.
Everyone always brings this up, but he does have, you can make a moveset of him as seen by Marvel vs. Capcom, because Sakurai is a genius already, and he'll be able to make something work with the way that his unique mechanics can work if they do something like that.
Yeah, like his down tilt is when he pounds on the desk.
Oh, yo, let's go. That'd be great.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
And his side special is a point that reaches a pretty good distance to swipe into the other player.
His smash attack could be that move from Marvel where he holds the paper and throws it forward. And he goes, "More evidence!
More evidence."
And of course, his final smash has to be, if you hit them with the objection, it activates Ace Attorney turnabout mode.
Yes, absolutely.
You mean it wouldn't be Franzi's whiplash, splash, whatever?
No, unfortunately not. You gotta keep it to the boy, the iconic boy.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, you could have so much of so I guess would the courthouse be the stage?
Yeah, probably. I could see like the courtroom being the stage, and the gimmick is like, oh, it could be the courthouse from Dual Destinies, where there's like a
When it
hole
blows
in the
up.
roof.
Oh,
So that
yeah.
so it'd be like blocked on the sides, but up can still be like a blast zone. You know?
Well, I think it would start as an enclosed space, and you'd have to be mindful of the explosion stage hazard before that opens up.
Oh, that's true too. Oh, it could be there's a court case going on, and that's where like the hazards come from. The different prosecutors come in and they have different effects on the stage. Like,
The judge's
Francisco's
gavel
whip.
comes in from the background to hit the
Oh,
player.
yo,
Go to throws coffee at you.
yo, and then
Frenzy whips you. That's where she can come in.
Simon has the hawk slices and whatnot, like just across the screen, a single slice, like Odin's move from the Midgar stage, where it like cuts an
slices the stage
entire
in half.
stage in half. Like, maybe not as powerful, but like it would certainly be funny.
Oh, I wanted to go all the way in with that. Just go absurd with Phoenix Wright, because that's just what the series is for me. This is also a way to get Edgeworth in too. Like, what would he do?
Ooh, I mean,
Well, Phoenix would need an Edgeworth costume, even though it wouldn't be Edgeworth.
yeah, like a color scheme or something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what he had in Marvel. Like all of his outfits were references to other like attorneys, prosecutors, and characters from Ace Attorney, and then one costume was a reference to Ghost Trick. So,
I suppose Edgeworth could just drive his red sports car onto the stage.
yo, do you know how sick it would be that he just like crashes into the courtroom?
I have the updated autopsy report, he says in the background.
That's it. That's his gimmick. He updates the autopsy report.
Oh my
Let's
god.
go.
Plot twist, the autopsy is for the fighters.
The cause of death, Edgeworth.
Yeah, and they could, as Kristen says, they could do the Dual Destinies courthouse. They could have Apollo and Athena in the back too. Just a good way to introduce, like, or to incorporate a lot of the characters throughout the series would be yeah, the courthouse would be a great way to do that.
Yeah, get
Mm.
Maya and Pearl as background elements.
Oh, that'd be cool too. Yeah.
Yeah, Maya has to be there, definitely in some capacity. And then, of course, the music that would be in the game.
Oh, the
Can you
music.
imagine?
The
Yeah.
music. Okay, so the real question is, obviously we get a remix of Phoenix Wright's theme, but how do they handle the objection music? The cornered music. Do they just do each one individually, or do we get like a medley of like objection remixes?
Yeah, it's hard
We
because
get one objection rearrangement of the main one that goes far beyond what the original was, like with new guitar riffs and other things that the composers could have fun with.
Yo, that'd be sick. Let's go. We'd probably get a remix of the what is it, like the Maya Sisters theme?
Turnabout Sisters by Yoko Shimomura, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. One remix has to be done by Yoko. She's in every DLC so far.
she's in a lot of them. Yeah.
I would want Athena's theme from Spirit of Justice, but just the original version would be fine on that.
Hmm.
We need to have the God, I don't know, I forgot the name of the song, but the one that plays during the whole samurai sequence.
Oh, the
Yes!
Silver Samurai
Yeah.
theme. Let's go.
Put that one in there, absolutely.
I could see Terry having that in one of his games.
For sure.
Because SNK does the Samurai Showdown series.
Oh, that'd be funny. I'd love that.
Yeah, so many so many great options, man. That's great.
Yeah, so Knight, what's a character you want then? Like we can go through all the wants and then just predict who the actual, like what we think it will be, right? So
Yeah, man. Okay, for this one, I mean, my most wanted character at this point would have to be a Tails character because
oh yeah.
because it just feels like with the popularity that Tails has overseas, like I feel like it'd be a little bit like a Dragon Quest situation where it's not as well known here in the West or overseas, but it's definitely well known over there, and you can definitely get some like notoriety about with Smash Brothers as Smash always does. But with this, okay, I don't know if this is a real thing or if it's not, I'm gonna make it a thing. It's the Pac-Man theory. Okay, so with Smash 4, Pac-Man has like 19 different taunts in one of his taunts, the roulette, the Namco roulette, where it's like so many different arcade style sprites that appear that are referenced. So it could be like from original Pac-Man to like Galaga, Galaxian, Dig Dug, all that. And then transitioning into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, he got two more, and that was the Prince from Katamari Damacy, and then Heihachi from Tekken, which are a lot more modern compared to the like really old arcadey ones that are originally introduced. These are all Namco properties, but he doesn't have anything from Tails in his little roulette there. And Tails is a series that came out like in between these like the spectrum of ones that are represented. So 1990 was when Fantasia came out, and like even did a little mock-up once of Fantasia's sprite, of Cress's sprite that shows up, just to see what it would look like with the little like save sound effect that came in. But like, if you're not gonna have a Tails character, then I mean, like, he doesn't have a Tails character in his little roulette. So like, what about like if they're not gonna do that, maybe they're planning something else because Heihachi isn't gonna be a playable character. I don't think. I feel like he
Right.
won't be.
I mean,
And-
he
Isn't he
also
a
got the
costume?
Mii costume, so
Yeah, he's got the Mii costume, and we still don't have Lloyd's Mii costume back either. So is there a way to? Is there a telling way to see like is this gonna happen where like Lloyd's gonna represent himself? Like if it's Lloyd from Tales of Symphonia, which most likely it would be because he has a Mii costume still already. I feel like if he wasn't gonna be in the
Well-
game, maybe they could have had his sprite or something Tails in Pac-Man's
I'm gonna say it
taunts.
wouldn't be Lloyd because of the costume. When they introduced Sephiroth, they finally brought back the Geno costume because it's another Square property.
Yep.
So I think the Lloyd costume would more likely come back if it's either another character from a Tails game or even just another Namco property.
It's possible. I mean, they've upgraded Mii costumes from Smash Brothers for Wii U and 3DS into a playable character before, so it can go either way for that. Lloyd is the most likely to become a character that would be playable.
That's the thing though. When it comes to the Mii costume, quote unquote, upgrades from Wii U to Ultimate, they were first party characters.
Mm-hmm.
So and
I mean,
every
there's no
third party so far has been just
Even
the
then,
Mii
some
costume.
still have both, don't they? I think the Splatoon costumes are still there, despite Inkling being playable.
Right. And correct me if I'm wrong. I think the Crom one is still there too, or
I think.
I think so.
I mean, there's no rules with this, to be honest. To me,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
every time we decide, like, oh, this has to be a thing, then Sakurai just slaps us in the back of the head and say, no, this can still happen.
yeah, right.
Yeah, it just feels like Sakurai knows who is coming when. You know, he intentionally held back the Chocobo hat for Sephiroth to come in, as well, because and Geno as well, because they're all Square related characters. So I don't know if he's planning on. Lloyd is the last Mii costume aside from the Monster Hunters that hasn't come back. So it could be telling, like, depending on what we see today. Maybe they'll have a Namco character that's we're not expecting at all. I don't know, but
It is interesting that because when Namco was announced to be working on Wii U and eventually Ultimate, they were very open about the fact that, like, just because we're making it, it doesn't mean anything. Like it's literally just we're making it, right? But Namco in general, other than Pac-Man, has like no representation in Smash, like at all. Like
Mhm.
Well,
Spirits,
some of
nothing.
the music tracks harken to other games. We got that nice Galaga medley.
Oh, that Galaga
Yeah.
medley is so good. But that's what I mean though. It's attached to Pac-Man stage. You know, like everything Namco related is attached to Pac-Man in some way. And I get it; he's their mascot, right? But like, I don't know. It feels like Namco is almost hesitant to be in Smash outside of like everything that's attached to Pac-Man specifically. You know.
Mhm.
And most of their stuff, like you mentioned earlier, Night Tide, is arcade stuff. If do I want a Tails character? Absolutely. I'd lose my fucking shit if we got a Tails character. I love the Tails games, most of them. But sorry, Zesteria, I don't like you. But but Lloyd, Yuri, I don't know, fucking Luke, I don't know, any of the Tails characters would be awesome to have in Smash. And
Yeah.
Bandai Namco is the only company that has less than 2 characters. Like how did we get 2 Square characters before we got 2 Namco characters?
I
You
have no
know,
idea. No
like
idea.
Square is stingy. Like, so how stingy is Bandai Namco? Like, you know, like, oh
Yeah.
man,
Even
Well,
if it.
they might not be stingy. They just might not be first in line, unlike Nintendo's dodgeball team drafting. Like
oh,
they're waiting, they're eager to be picked, but they're just not getting invited.
imagine being the captain of a team and you can't be on the team.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, because Namco's been in production of Smash since the Wii U and 3DS era, so it's like I don't know. It just feels like at least by the end of this Fighters Pass, we'll see something from Namco. At least I'm hoping so. Maybe not even today. It could be further down the line. But I just wanted to throw out there, like, yeah, it could be Yuri, also from Vesperia, because Vesperia Definitive Edition is out everywhere now, also on Switch. It's the only Tails game that's on the Switch, and
Yep.
he's like the most popular Tails character. They could release the Lloyd outfit with him, and that would be totally fine too. If Yuri was in, I would actually like him a little bit more, because his styles can switch between using like a sword and also an axe. Like he could be like a slower, harder hitting axe user, or a faster like combo heavy sword user, and the arts can change because there's so many arts that characters can use. The characters are made to be like in a game like Smash. It's ridiculous that we don't have any kind of like representation outside of Pac-Man and any Tails at all in Smash. So
Yeah, and that's what's interesting about Tails is like you mentioned like switching between like weapon types and stuff like that. Like whether it's Lloyd or Yuri or whoever, if we got a Tails character, ta- a lot of people who don't want Tails characters because ew swords, which is you're stupid if you think that. Fuck you. But uh, the thing that makes Tails characters interesting is that they're acrobatic. They're combat and combo focused. Like
Yeah.
not that like a character like Marth or something isn't, but with Tails characters, you're doing flippy shit. You're shooting beams out of your swords.
It'd be like if Sheik wielded weapons.
exactly. It'd be like a really crazy, fun character. So
yeah,
I don't know.
So, like,
It'd
somewhere
make it
between
much more
Sheik
dynamic
and
than just
Byleth.
being a sword.
Somewhere between Sheik and Byleth, like her acrobatics, but Byleth's weapon diversity, but faster than
Yeah,
Byleth, but not necessarily as hard hitting. More about
exactly.
the combos.
yeah.
Mhm.
There's just a lot of options available for them. Just naturally for each character, you could pick any Tails character really, and they have so many options available. But yeah,
Yes, they're adding Jade from Tales of the Abyss. Let's go, baby.
let's get an actual mage.
Yeah, just
Like
the
backup
random-
Robin. You're gonna
Yeah,
have Jade in
right.
this one.
They call it Robin 2.
And we'll get a Lance user finally. Like officially
Yo, that's
all
true.
Lance user. Oh my
Let's
goodness.
go.
But yeah, that's pretty much my spiel on my wanted Namco character. That may or may not happen, who knows. But yeah.
Well, what about you, Azran? Who's your most wanted?
Well, let's see. My name is Azran.
I wonder.
There's only so many options that Professor Layton.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Azran Legacy is the 6th game in the Layton series, and the last one that Herschel himself starred in as of the time of this.
Yeah, Professor
And,
Layton.
it is a puzzle game, but there is plenty of evidence that Layton can hold his own in a fight. I mean,
Yeah.
if we can make Ace Attorney work in Smash, it's definitely not a stretch for Layton because for one, he's a saber user. You see it in cutscenes through the game. He often has to fight off enemies,
Mhm.
Yeah.
so that could be the base of his moveset. But then also just a few nods to the game, like how you look around the area and you find hint coins. So I imagine that him using up hint coins would be like a special projectile he has.
Ooh.
And maybe even like Banjo's feathers, because you can only use a certain number of hints on each puzzle in the game. So that could translate as he can only throw this a certain number of times on each stock.
Mhm.
Or maybe you save up your hint coins and in one game he converts a slot machine to a Gatling gun.
Yo!
So I just want him to
Oh
use
my
it.
god.
So like you could save up your hint coins to load the Gatling gun and unleash that.
That'd be hype.
I mean, if we can make a villager from Animal Crossing work as a fighter, I think we can get anybody in a moveset that can work with Smash Brothers, the Ace Attorney.
And I'm sure there are recurring items from the puzzles as well that you could make fun little animations with.
Mhm.
Like there's this thing called the Paponyo. It's like a little egg-shaped doohickey from one of the areas in Azran. And in Layton 7, they show up again. So it's an ongoing gag. I'm sure they could make some sort of Paponyo attack as an example.
Mhm. I wonder though. Not to say Leighton couldn't happen, but like, do you think level 5 and their whole like sort of scaling back means that they wouldn't personally be interested in pushing the Leighton IP? Or Do you think that would like affect his chances at all? Like maybe
I think
Nintendo
that
wanted him,
depends on
went to level
their.
5, and level 5 was just like, oh, I'm good.
I think it depends on their plans for the mobile market because they've been porting Layton to mobile for quite some time now. The first 3 all have HD mobile ports now. And that's another thing they could bring to Switch if they wanted to. Just those mobile ports. I
That was
imagine would
actually
work
one of my
really well.
predictions too.
Ooh.
I said latent ports to Switch published by Nintendo. So
Chris is asking.
So yeah, about Luke, I doubt it. I don't think he would. Even though they do always go together generally, but you don't really see Luke doing a lot of the fighting.
He like pops in for a taunt or a victory animation or something.
looking
Oh yeah,
cool,
he can
Layton.
definitely be part of the package in some way. Maybe even a Mii costume.
Yo,
Oh, yeah, there you go.
that'd be tight.
Get him, Emmy, Flora. They always love to push Flora's dress into any cosmetic option they can get their hands on.
Yeah,
Also,
I'd
side
like to see
special could
Layton.
be like Wario, except it's the Layton Mobile.
Yo,
That's a recovery. It could even be the recovery, because at one point he makes it fly, I'm pretty sure.
oh, see, now here's the big brain play. Phoenix and Layton as like a ice climber duo, and their final smash is
They
them.
crossed over once.
Exactly. Which, you know, I enjoyed that crossover, but it was, God, that story was dumb. That was a really dumb story. It was fun though. But like their final smash is the what was the gimmick in that game? It was doing like Ace Attorney trials, but it's with 4 characters at once, right?
Yeah, with
Like,
a whole mob of people, and you had to compare testimonies.
hmm that's the final smash. There you go.
Just bring out the angry mob.
Yeah, bring out the Smash
mean,
fans.
It was about that crossover was about a witch hunt, so they could just have their knives and pitchforks and torches and whatever.
Oh, there you
And
go.
do like Yoshi.
Yo, what? Oh my God, what if it's just the same Final Smash as Yoshi, but all the character models are replaced with Ace Attorney and latent characters?
You get the mob trampling all over them.
There you go. That's the big brain play. You get 2 for 1. There we go, baby.
And if he came to the game, I would have to start playing a lot more, and he would need to be my main, and so many things would be right with the world.
Hmm
I'm just hyped to see what character is revealed and how many fans of that character are going to be like, yes, finally, and just to see that hype happen all over again. That's always so great to see.
hmm Like even like okay, so like I always get flack for it. I don't think Byleth was an interesting choice. I'm not mad about Byleth being picked. Like I know why Byleth was picked. That's fine. But it was to see every so often like the Fire Emblem Three Houses fans that are like, "Yo, let's go!" Like I picked up Smash for Byleth. Like it's always nice to see stuff like that, you know? Like like it's cool. Smash is cool. Fuck, love Smash. Let's go. Like,
Are they gonna open with it? I don't see them doing anything else for the opening.
yeah, probably. I could see that.
Yeah,
And unless they got some really juicy title, but the juicy title to me says Breath of the Wild 2, and if that's in there at all, which I'm still not convinced it is, but that would be an ender, not an opener.
Or maybe the big brain play is Breath of the Wild 2 is just the appetizer, and they have so much hype shit in the direct that it doesn't even compare. Breath of the Wild 3 is how they end this direct.
Get ready.
And it still comes out before Prime 4 does.
Oh no.
Womp, womp, womp. Yeah, Prime 4 could maybe beat Bayonetta 3.
Maybe someday. I'm still upset. If you didn't know, Bayonetta 3, like all we had when it was announced was that trailer. They literally hadn't worked on anything else. So and then shortly after they started working on it, the director left Platinum Games. So they've been kind of in a scramble to put that game back together again.
Oh man, yeah.
Wait, what game? I was told to forget.
Exactly.
Just forget it exists for now. We'll remind you when it's time.
Which could be at this direct. No.
Kamiya's way of saying, "Please stop asking me. I'm not allowed to say shit."
I can only block so many people on Twitter.
Twitter's banned my blocking. I can't. Please. So I guess we can jump into characters we actually expect to show up, right? So
Yeah. What do you realistically believe we'll see, Rob?
okay, so every character since every character, not including I want to say Banjo, has been an advertisement for something. Joker for Persona 5 and Strikers. Dragon Quest was
For 11S.
yeah, for 11S because that they even mentioned 11S's release date in Joker or in Heroes presentation, right?
The 11S trailer was right after his reveal at E3.
Exactly. And then Banjo was like, play it on Xbox, you know, like that was obvious, right? And then Terry was like, SNK loves the Switch. Everything is on the Switch from
Yeah.
SNK. And then Byleth is pretty obvious who they're advertising, right? And then Min Arms, which after they announced a fighter is coming to Smash, oh, by the way, Arms Trial is on NSO, so you might want to pick that up, you know? Like it wasn't a coincidence they planned that, right? And then Steve is obvious, and then Sephiroth was FF7 remake. Like all
Even
of
though
these,
that's not on the Switch, so you could argue that Banjo was still an advertisement for Microsoft.
yeah, that's true. But but in general, all these characters, even if they have a legacy, like Sephiroth mostly references just base FF7, right?
That
Like-
one is on the Switch.
Yeah, that one is on the Switch, so either way, it's a win-win for them, right? But I think the next character is going to be it's an obvious pick. It's not a bold choice at all. It's going to be Crash, Pokemon, or Zelda. Like one of those is getting a character. And I fingers crossed for Crash because I think that's just a more interesting choice. But I wouldn't be opposed to a Zelda character, assuming it's not a Triforce wielder.
The writing's on the wall for Crash, with Crash 4 joining the Switch library, but that's why he's not happening, because we expect it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like if we're gonna see Crash, it might be the E3 reveal because the way things are lining up right now, the next character will probably be revealed at E3, for whatever they're planning on doing for that event. Because I don't know how E3 is gonna happen this year, but yeah, I feel like more than likely it'll probably be a first party character coming from for today. That was my prediction too. Was probably a Pokemon was gonna happen. Gen 8 Pokemon because we haven't had any representation. We always have a new Pokemon for pretty much every single Smash game that's ever released. We've always had a new introduction of a new character. We had Incineroar in base game, but a whole new generation has come out since then. And I don't know. Is there a specific Pokemon you guys might expect to see in Smash Brothers if it was revealed today?
To keep it simple, Gen 8.
Well,
I don't play Pokemon anymore, and I
Rob
haven't
making
since-
all the
Hey,
wild prediction.
I predicted that the Lone Ranger is coming to Switch. Okay,
are you sure
Like,
you're a gamer?
what the fuck? I play video games, dude. I've been on Xbox Live. I've told people what I'll do to their moms. Like,
I played Call of Duty Shooting Man once.
yeah, right. I've definitely gotten yelled at by someone double my age because I said something inappropriate to them. I'm a gamer. But
How about Corviknight, the star of the Twilight Wings anime? Pretty prominent figure in Sword Shield.
Corviknight.
Corviknight. Which
It's
one?
a flying steel type. That'd be new for Smash as well. Not that it has to be new for Smash.
That would be Christian's new main, Corviknight.
Oh, yo, Corviknight's sick. I had to look it up. I'm sorry.
That's fine. We understand. Rillaboom for a stand-in starter trio. It could be Urshifu from the DLC tie-in, or Toxtricity for. Well, it has two forms. It does have it is the one that they a lot of them have
It's a
Dynamax
pretty big
versions.
mascot because you have to raise it up from the egg, and it's this rock Mick Jagger type rock figure.
Yeah,
He
and
jams out with Rillaboom in the credits, so he's a mascot for the game for sure.
yeah, and everyone's got him because I think you kind of have to get the egg through the game, so everyone would know.
I did keep him on my team.
Oh yeah,
He,
yeah.
he was very
Sure.
easy to die. It was very easy for him to die because man was he weak. So,
Yeah,
but I kept him.
there's a poison mechanic in Smash, so we can definitely have something like that because there's no poison Pokemon in the game. Would be the third electric type, but you know.
Unless you count Ivysaur, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Ivysaur's cool, I guess. I'm more of a
what else?
more
is
of a Venusaur kind of
mascot for
guy.
Sword and Shield.
Man, I wish they would go with Sirfetch. That's my boy.
Yo,
But of course, another anime swordsman. Everyone would get angry. Everyone would get mad.
No, wait. If it was Surfetched, he would have leaked already.
Thank you for joining us on our stream.
and that's it.
That's it. Oh,
I'll
my
cranny
goodness.
for Smash. No.
I can't believe they added Surfetch to Fire Emblem Heroes.
Oh, finally. Oh, Vash's Grimmsnarl would be a good one too because they also have a pretty sick Dynamax form as well.
Oh, how about the one that the sheep? What's its name again?
Wooloo?
Wooloo.
Yo, Wooloo! That'd be fun.
Wooloo in here. Wooloo would probably be too strong because every attack you hit would just dissolve into the floof, and then you wouldn't be able to damage it.
Or would it be like Jigglypuff, but like, so if you didn't know, if you break Jigglypuff's shield, she instantly gets KO'd.
Yeah.
So is Wooloo the same thing, but it poofs off your fists and it goes flying every time?
Yeah, Wooloo's shield animation is just the floof, kind of like Yoshi's egg. It's just a different animation.
Well, Wooloo would also be a good pick to reuse Yoshi's Final Smash. Except instead of trampoline, it would be rolling.
They get rolled over like in that one gym where you have to guide all the Wooloo that are rolling around.
Exactly.
Fire Emblem Heroes 2017. It was so fetched. I see what you did. Oh,
There we go.
Oh my goodness. Off the topic of characters for just a moment, like no matter if there is a Pokemon, like that wouldn't be like the hypest thing for me. But I do think that if they do a stage, it'd be the Galarian stadium, and that would be really crazy because I imagine it would be like from above, kind of like if you did the Terry's stage, but on battlefield mode, where it's looking up above, and then down below you would see like there'd be the whole like massive Teletron, the screen in the background that's just flashing, and whenever someone gets KO'd, you see like the ball guy doing the animation where it's like KO. And then like you see Pokemon Dynamaxing in the background, like having an actual battle. And then the same thing with the music that plays, like when you do a gym battle, that's like the hypest like EDM music that plays during that battle. And then when there's like one stock left, it'll transition to the last half where the people start chanting, and
Please just keep it to the last stock if that's the case, because I hate that chanting part so much.
You do?
I can't stand it. Yeah, like wah, wah, wah. It's like shut up! I'm listening to music. I'm trying to listen. Can't hear anything.
I think they would probably redo that. Like that'd probably be a song that they would remix. The cheering would have to be done differently because it doesn't sound like cheering. I think the beta version of that song has better cheering than the one that we hear in the final game.
The beta one.
You know, then they'd go for then they go for the wild area instead. or a
Oh.
Dynamax lair.
If they do the wild area, it'll just be like a big flat empty stage.
with bad trees.
Exactly. For Pokemon, that's the perfect representation.
With the N64 trees.
Yo, let's go! N64 trees. And what's funny is you'll get hit into the trees, and when you do, it makes a sword slashing sound effect because they're so thin with polygons that they cut the characters.
But then the berries fall out and they hit you on the head for damage, and then the Squavit comes along, or a Greedent if you're real unlucky.
Yeah, that would just integrate everything possible into that. You would see people biking around in the wild area. Yeah, I mean, man, there's so many things that they could do with Sword and Shield. I wish that like whatever Sakurai does will probably be more ambitious than whatever the actual Pokemon company did with Sword and Shield themselves.
Yep.
You know what? I bet that if I had to put money down on a stage, though, for let's assume it's a Gen 8 Pokemon, and that it's getting the stage, I'd have to put money on Rose Tower.
Probably, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah, that could be one too. I don't know. I guess I'm just choosing the typical stadium because it's so like it's recognizable. But there's like already 4 stadiums in the game, Pokemon and then Terry Stadium. Yeah. Well, I don't know. They'll probably do something a little bit different for that. So I can see like the tower being one.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it would probably a bit. What's the word I'm looking for? It would be a bit the something similar to whatever. I'm thinking of Prism Tower from Gen 6 that's already in the game.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Reminiscent of that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That
I
was
could
the
see
word.
that.
Yeah.
This is something I totally forgot to mention when we started talking about characters. This isn't always the case when it comes to Smash characters, but more often than not, directs tend to favor Japanese when it comes to like when they air, right? That's why Americans have to watch it at fucking 3 in the morning, but
Yeah.
or UK people watch it at 3 in the morning, while like Americans watch it at like 9 a.m., right? And then Japan gets it at like what 4 or 5 p.m. their time.
Mm-hmm.
But this direct, it's the other way around. So that makes me wonder: do they want more Western eyes on this direct? And that's why they're doing it like after school and work lets out, but before people go to dinner and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I think they want a lot more people to see the directs because this is the usual time they would have for their traditional Nintendo directs, like the mini ones and the partner showcases. Those are a little bit different. And like Pokemon does their directs at like 6 a.m. or for me anyways. But yeah, I remember because when I was still working, I would kind of schedule my lunch break to be at 2 so that I could watch the direct during my lunch break.
Yeah.
Because that's a pretty good time for most people to be able to catch it, at least for those who aren't working at like the West Coast. But
obviously, it's all predictions. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. It probably won't. But like, it's just something to keep in mind that I was watching a couple of people do their predictions, and someone was like, normally they don't do like this time frame for directs, or at least they haven't in a long time. So it's something to keep in mind that they want a lot of Western people to watch this. So maybe it means the character might appeal to the West, or there's something in the direct that would appeal to the West.
Yeah, the last time I remember this direct being at this time is when Banjo got a release date, and then it was immediately followed by Sakurai Presents Banjo. And that's a Western character, so you may have a point.
Yeah, that's when they announced the release date, and then it was really like right after, the presentation.
And then we got 3 seconds of Terry footage.
That was a pretty fun introduction or like reveal trailer though, with the whole Neo Geo.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
I hope they do. I hope they do something cool like that for this one too. Like they did everything stylized for like ARMS. They did the whole like Advent Children madness with Sephiroth.
Low key, like seeing Min Min's trailer made me just want a Arms cartoon to look like that. Like, give me
Yeah.
that. I want that. That's way more stylish than the actual game graphics. Like,
Arms the series coming to not Netflix because they leaked the Zelda show.
maybe that's
It'll be
why.
canceled.
Maybe that's why Netflix isn't on the Switch. They leaked that show, and Nintendo's like, "Yeah, I don't want you on my platform anymore."
Out of spite.
Maybe it could come to what's happening right now, HBO Max or Hulu.
Yo, HBO Max, let's go. Okay? People dunk on HBO Max for not being great, but that shit has Godzilla, so I don't give a fuck.
The more I
HBO Max
see, the
tight.
more I want to buy a subscription, but I keep holding off because I have other subscriptions.
HBO Max is worth it, if anything. Like that, they have like an actual like pretty good lineup of stuff. Especially if you like Cartoon Network stuff, they have a lot of good Cartoon Network stuff on there, and they just added Ed and Eddie. So
And Static Shock, from what I heard.
Oh my god.
wait, Static Shock is on there?
That is what I heard
What?
that he joined
You-
HBO. Yeah.
Your boy Virgil's on there?
Yo, let's go! Hang on. Is this what I'm gonna be doing after the direct? Hang on.
You can chill with your boy Virgil, man. I don't have HBO Max, so I don't know, but
Yo, it is on here. Let's go! Let's go!
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah.
I saw it on Twitter.
Yo, that was the hypest part of the direct.
this whole discussion was just leading up to
HBO
Static Shock
Max
being
coming to
confirmed.
Switch during the direct today.
Crazy that Static Shock is gonna be on the Switch. They're just gonna add each episode as its own purchasable item on the eShop.
Alongside the Lone Ranger.
Yeah, alongside Disney's 2013 classic, The Lone Ranger, starring Johnny Depp.
Wow. Okay, let's see.
I'm sorry you
I think-
invited me.
No, it's cool. I wanted you guys
I'm
here.
the one who mentioned it.
I asked for this. It's fine. But that being said, like, is that it for our predictions for Smash? Would you say?
We actually only heard Rob's actual prediction. And then we just kept talking about the
Oh,
Pokemon.
oh yeah. Well, mine was
Yeah.
mine was Pokemon as well, so we just kind of led into that. So that was
Yeah.
pretty much
I
part of my
see.
discussion too. So if you have one more, Azran, we'll go ahead and we'll discuss that, and I think we'll call it there.
Well, again, the writing's on the wall for Crash, which is why it's not happening.
It's too obvious.
In fact, no name that we say in this prediction is going to be the right one. That is just how out of left field Sakurai is.
Yep.
Like, did any of us see Sephiroth coming? Nope. I didn't, anyway.
So it's gonna be Tifa now.
Yo, let's go though. More women for
Scary.
Smash.
Yeah, I'm down for it.
That said, other than Crash, there is also plenty of people, at least in my circle, are vying for a Xenoblade or Xenosaga or some other Xeno person to show up in Smash so that Shulk has some company.
I could see that.
Yeah. Yeah, what the heck? Poor
I mean-
poor Rex and Pyra when they couldn't get in, and now Min
I mean, if
in the game.
Sephiroth shows one thing, it's that they are now willing to give more love to franchises in the cast that don't have much yet.
Yeah.
So Final Fantasy VII just got expanded upon thanks to the DLC. So now another game. It could be a character from another game, be that Xenosaga, Sonic, other franchises that like have one rep right now that could use the extra love.
Yeah, for sure.
Put in-
I could see that happening.
They throw us a curveball and they put in Cosmos from Xenosaga.
Yo,
Yeah,
let's
but
go!
They're in Xenoblade 2, so it would
Yeah,
work as cross promotion for that game.
If we do get a Xeno whatever character, it probably would be a Xenoblade character.
yeah.
Whether it's from. See, that's the thing though. Do they advertise Xenoblade 2 or do they advertise Definitive Edition?
Or do they advertise Xenoblade X if that is in development?
Or
And Raiden
Xenoblade
Elma.
3, which is going to be announced in this direct today.
Sneaking in one more
I
prediction.
I know what I'd be spending my time on.
Yeah, exactly. If we do get more Xenoblade content in Smash, though, can we please get a remix of oh, what's that one theme? That Desert Titan.
Moradin, roaming the wastes.
Yeah. Roaming the Wastes. I want a remix of that. That song is fucking hype. I love
Does
that
it really
song.
need a remix? No, but would we take it?
It doesn't
Yes.
need one, but god damn it, I want the song in Smash. I want more than just the battle theme from Xenoblade 2, please.
Unfortunately, the one Xeno arrangement they did with that medley is it actually like brings down the music.
Mm-hmm.
All the original versions are just better.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
there's some musical choices that are questionable as far as what they choose to remix. Like Sonic's another one. There's like only one remix song from Brawl that's in there, and everything else is just plopped in from the actual games. So I hope they do more.
Yeah, so I
Let's
wouldn't
go.
mind another Sonic rep, that being said, with more actual rearrangements like what we got with Sephiroth.
Yeah, you know what they're gonna do for Sonic music? They're gonna give us the modern remix from Sonic Generations 3DS for Radical Highway, which was
No, wait. Sonic, the focus will be on. Like, that one remix we have is from a 2D Sonic game, and the rest are just like the vocal songs from the 3D games. The focus has always been on 3D Sonic. So Sonic Mania 2 is coming per Steve's Satanic Circle.
hell yeah.
And a new Sonic character who is going to be in Sonic Mania 2 is going to come with a 2D inspired stage and 2D inspired tracks.
The real big brain question though, is it Green Hill 2? Is that what we're gonna get for this stage?
It's Emerald Hill.
Oh, it's Emerald Hill. Let's go.
So go with the movie because they used that in the trailer.
Green Hill Fontana in Smash. I don't know if I could handle that.
Clearly advertising the movie in Smash. I mean,
okay, wait. Detective Pikachu got in, and it was around the time the movie was coming out. I'm just saying.
Man.
I'm just saying.
And we are expecting that sequel at some point.
That's the thing. They never said it was a sequel. They just said a follow-up.
The Switch iteration.
Yeah,
Let's
whatever Switch game Detective Pikachu is happening, that's probably gonna get advertised a lot.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Oh boy. Wow, that was a round of predictions for sure.
I'm sorry if I derailed everything and I've ruined Smash predictions for you.
No, it's fine. Everything. I mean, that's the thing with Smash predictions. You talk about like every character within every within the whole pantheon of video games, and it can just go anywhere from there because that's what Smash is. It's just a bit of
I
everybody.
could just suddenly start laughing like Monokuma again and say,
Oh.
I think Discord cut you off for
it. All I heard was I could just say poo, and then it cut out for me. I was like, oh well, I guess his puns have devolved into poop jokes. I think we're good.
Danganronpa 1 and 2 are totally getting ported today. I'm totally calling that. That's gonna happen, and you're gonna look back at this and say, wow, Ezran, you were right. That and Punch-In.
I can't believe you were right about Dangly Bangly Man in Smash.
I'm looking forward mostly to Punch-In and see.
Gotcha.
Oh my goodness. Oh, but with that, let's see. With that, we've been on this for like a little more than 2 hours now, so I think we're good for calling it here. Unless you guys have any more dying predictions you need to get out.
Hang on. I got a couple quick fire. There's going to be a Resident Evil game. Other Persona games are coming to Smash. A Super Monkey Ball game is going to happen.
Smash.
Yes. Wait, what? What did I say?
You said Persona is coming to Smash.
Yeah. We're going to get more Persona music. And also Persona games are coming to the Switch. That's golden. Definitely what I meant to say. And then Rockstar is going to port Red Dead Redemption 1. The Lone Ranger is a Shadow Drop. There we go. It's happening. It's all happening.
Immortals Phoenix Rising is going to get content from Kid Icarus Uprising.
Oh, okay.
And the Switch version of Hades is gonna get Kid Icarus Uprising's Hades.
Could you imagine if Kid Icarus content came to Hades? That would be amazing.
You heard it here first.
They'll just have Hades breaking the fourth wall and just taking over the game entirely.
Yo, Hades for Smash though?
They I don't know. He's too big.
Like,
which
Is
one?
he too big?
Which one?
The game.
Hades or Kid Icarus Hades?
Oh,
Oh,
you know what?
well,
You trick people. It's a Kid Icarus trailer. Hades shows up from Kid Icarus, but then what's his name from Hades, the game?
Zagreus.
Zagreus.
Zagreus. Thank you. I forgot the name. I put 80 hours in that game. I don't remember it. But he shows up, kills Hades, and then joins Smash instead.
Wait,
my
you
God.
put Hades hours in?
Hey, yeah, exactly.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, I think we're done with the jokes. There we. I'm good for now.
Okay. I think we're good, yeah. I need to get going anyways.
Triforce Heroes Deluxe and a Totem Link amiibo.
Just remember, if you see a dog being pet, it was my prediction that
was-
made it happen.
It was all Rob's doing.
Chrono Trigger is coming to the Switch. You heard it here first.
But I wish, I hope, we'll see. But with that all being said, thank you to both Rob Armanex and Azran127 for joining me on this impromptu discussion. Where in the social media world can we find you guys, Rob?
Yeah, just any platform that exists, just at Rob Armanex. You could probably find me. I'm the only person in the world who is as obsessed with Chie as I am, so you'll see little green hoodie girl everywhere you go, and that's my icon. So follow me there. That's what I do.
Very nice. What about you, Azran?
The Azran127 name is what you'll find on Twitter, Discord, YouTube, and Twitch, the latter of which I stream 3 nights a week. And on YouTube, I sometimes make music. That's why there is a music note in my icon. It's
Hell
not
yeah.
too frequent, but it happens, and it's generally good. At least that's what people tell me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm Night Tide with Evernight Studio. You'll mostly see me on Twitter doing graphic design for mobile backgrounds, wallpaper, desktop icons, banners, all sorts of things, and doing a little bit of graphic design work here and there for Good Vibes Gaming, which you'll also be able to see all three of us on every now and then. You'll be able to hear of us probably in chat. As
Rob Armanex says.
yeah, you're just apparently
Azran127 with the pun.
you're just you're just so interesting, Rob. They just can't stop talking about you. You know, you got those points on lock.
See, that's the thing. I don't think it's because I'm interesting. I think it's because I just talk more than everyone else.
I think it's because your name is like rolls off the tongue very easily.
It's
Rob
cool as
Armanex.
fuck. I forget which GX discussion or preview or whatever it was, but I remember when it was my original handle of Armanex1000. Ash mentioned specifically, he's like, "Yo, that's a cool name," and I was like, "That's me. I'm cool."
That's because it ends with man and X at the same time, and it just
Yeah,
gives him.
It's man X and 1,000 of it. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, thanks again, you guys for joining. I'm about to head off with this stream, and if there's anything else you guys want to know about, know or ask, you can always hit us up on social media as well. I believe, at least for.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys for joining. We're gonna tie this down, and then we have a direct in about an hour and a half.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
So hell yeah, I am ready for it. So we'll
My
let you guys.
body is ready.
My body's finally ready again.
It's been 530 days. My body has been so prepared.
Oh gosh.
All
Yeah.
right, we're good. Kill the stream. We're
yeah,
done.
We're good. We're
Yeah,
good.
baby.
All right. And we're heading out in 3, 2, 1.